Bodhi in the Brain, Part 6. Hello, everyone. This is Morgan O. Smith here. Just here to continue, just to explain some of the information that will be presented in my upcoming book, which is called Bodhi in the Brain. This week, we'll be talking about nootropics. So nootropics or nootropics are, if you don't know what they are, that's the name that's given for smart drugs or smart herbs that are beneficial for the brain, of course, to improve thinking, reasoning, things of that nature, but it also improves things like meditation. So it is a good idea if you get to know what nootropics are and what type of nootropics you should take if you're a meditator, especially if you're using brainwave entrainment like Yinnergy, which the book is based on, what the book's about, and other forms of brainwave entrainment. So nootropics is very important, something that people should be taking in their diets, whether you're a meditator or not, just for better. You need smart drugs or smart foods or smart herbs to produce the development, to help with the development of the brain, such as the neurons, dendrites, and synapses, and all the other stuff that of how your brain's developed and functions, and all that sort, and all that type of stuff. So personally, I don't take smart drugs for this thing. I've done that in the past. Years ago, there were certain smart drugs that I did experiment with to see how well they worked, but for my brain chemistry, it didn't work so well for me. It may have, but when it came to things like trying to think on the spot, like this is back in the days when I was doing stand-up comedy, when I took these smart drugs, I couldn't think of stuff on the spot, and that was a problem for me when I was in that industry. So I stopped using these smart drugs. I can't even remember the names of them at this point, but I did experiment with them to see how well they would work. But what I did do, I stuck with natural nootropics, such as Gotu Kola, Bacopa. So there's Gotu Kola, Bacopa, and Ginkgo biloba, and herbs such as that. So I got to learn what the natural ones were, and and also like ginseng, white ginseng and red ginseng. I was able to figure out which herbs that were beneficial, and so I went more in the direction of those natural smart herbs. I mostly take Gotu Kola. So that was my main one, the first one that I found out about and started using that on a regular basis, and also read a lot about it and found out how well it would benefit meditation, or to also Gotu Kola is one of those herbs that has been used for hundreds of years or even thousands of years by meditators, by yogis, and this is what they use to synchronize the two hemispheres of the brain while they were meditating and things of that sort. So those type of herbs played a huge role in yogis and meditators having mystical experiences and all that type of stuff. So that's the importance of these nootropics. But also what's important is your diet. So you also want to look at your diet. So some people have problems with tapping into a meditative state, and sometimes it has to do with diet. So for some people, we're told to stay away from things like raw onions and garlic. Raw onions and garlic is like a no-no for meditators. So these things, it hinders the individual of tapping into meditative states. So in some Eastern traditions, onions and garlic is a no-no. So sometimes there's some people who have too much garlic and too much onion in their diet, and that could be hindering them from tapping into meditative states. So things like that. So just having basic information like that is good to know, so you can find out if there's something that you have too much of, if you have too much of in your diet, and where you can reduce that. So I'm not saying to not have onions and garlic, but you may have too much in your diet, and by reducing that it could make a difference in regards to your meditative practice. So things like that. So diet is important. Of course, drinking water is important, and all that type of stuff. So, but in this section, we're focusing more on nootropics and the importance of that. So Gotu Kola, Bacopa, and Ginkgo are three of the main ones. Also, there's, as I said before, white ginseng, red ginseng, and things of that sort, when to use them and also when not to use them. I'm really more speaking of ginseng, when to use them and when not to use them. There are cases where you shouldn't use white or red ginseng in your meditative practice, especially if you're into the shamanic aspects of that, where you don't want to mix ginseng with a sacred medicine. That could be a total no-no right there. So things of that nature, but you can definitely take Gotu Kola and the other two that I've mentioned and all that. So that's it for this week in regards to nootropics, smart herbs and smart drugs, and how you can use that in your meditation practice, and how it also enhances Yinnergy, because Yinnergy is the foundation here, where for those who use Yinnergy and the great results they get from using Yinnergy, but it doesn't hurt for you to take any of the smart drugs or smart herbs to enhance that, also for the development of the human brain. So that's it for this week. I'll be back next week with some other stuff in regards to this upcoming book, which is called, again, Bodhi in the Brain, and I'll be coming out this year, 2023. Take care, everyone.